Hey everybody, my name is Grant and I'm on a mission to watch every movie ever made. And if that is something that you are interested in, then your wish has been granted and you are in the right place. All right, so today I got closer to my mission of watching every movie ever by watching the brand new 2026 release, The Wrecking Crew, which is a new action movie that just dropped today on Prime Video starring Dave Bautista and Jason Momoa. And guys, I'm here to answer one simple question for you. Is The Wrecking Crew a wish come true? And to be honest, I think so. I think if you are somebody that enjoys a good buddy cop action movie, you are going to find a lot to love in Prime Video's The Wrecking Crew. It is just a classic action movie. It's got so many explosions and fight sequences and action scenes that even if you aren't looking for a story or you don't particularly like the story that they have on display here, I still think this is going to be a movie that you end up enjoying just because of how much it pays tribute to the genre of, hey, let's just make a bunch of explosions and let's just have a lot of fun. Let's go to an exotic place. In this case, it's Hawaii, right? They actually surprisingly pay a lot of tribute to the culture of the island and pay a lot of attention to what they're saying about the people and the history of Hawaii. I think the main flaw and the worst thing that I can say about this movie is that between all the action sequences, you have a story that can become agonizingly slow when you have a movie that should have been 90 minutes and it ends up being about a 2-hour runtime. The movie doesn't really justify going anywhere near this long. And so, in between all these fight sequences, you get a lot of time just spent to plot that you don't necessarily care about too much. There is a good heart that is based off of Dave Bautista and Jason Momoa's characters. They have a lot of good scenes together, but the story and the mystery at the center of the movie itself can become a little boring, especially with a 2-hour runtime. But right when you get tired of hearing everybody talk and everybody try and solve this mystery of who killed these two brothers' dad that brought them back together after being estranged for so long back in Hawaii together, right when you get tired of that, something goes wrong. There's an explosion, bullets start flying, people start trying to stab each other. The movie really ramps right up and gets you excited to be watching this movie again. And just an additional fact that this movie does really well is the movie is surprisingly funny. A lot of these action buddy cop movies will really try to make you laugh, and 9 times out of 10, they'll fail. The movies won't be that funny and they'll waste a lot of time that they could spend on action sequences just trying to make you laugh with no result. This movie is funny and it doesn't waste a ton of time on jokes. You just find yourself laughing at what the characters are doing, especially Jason Momoa's character, who, no disrespect to Dave Bautista, he does a great job in this movie too, but Jason Momoa is the standout and really he is the main character of this movie. If you've seen Fast X, if you've seen a Minecraft movie, you know Jason Momoa has started playing these kind of wacky loser psychopaths where they're just looking for a fight any chance they can. They're not very popular, they're not very cool, they have a lot of troubles in their life, they may not have a lot of money, but you end up liking them so much just because of who's playing the role. Jason Momoa is a very likable character, and you end up rooting for him, especially when he just starts going crazy. And like I said, Dave Bautista does do a good job in this movie. He's just kind of relegated to that straight man role. He's a soldier in the US Navy. He's supposed to be this strict older brother compared to Jason Momoa, who's a cop who's been put on leave for excessive force. Dave Bautista isn't really given the chance to go a little crazier and have a little bit more fun in this movie, the way that I've seen him have fun in Guardians of the Galaxy or even in a movie I saw really recently, My Spy, which I didn't think was the greatest movie ever, but I thought Dave Bautista had a lot of charm in it that I wish they let him get a little bit more into with this movie. But even so, he does do a pretty good job opposite Jason Momoa. You can really get that sense of exhaustion out of him from this character who's supposed to be his estranged younger brother. There's a lot of fun scenes in this movie that if you do enjoy a good action sequence, you're gonna have a lot of fun here. The first fight sequence in this movie in Jason Momoa's house is one of the funniest fight scenes I've seen in a long time, and it's also one of the most brutal I have seen since The Night Comes for Us by Timo Giajanto. That movie was one of my top movies of last year, and I really just didn't know when I was going to find an action movie that would be willing to not hold back as much as that one. There are times in The Wrecking Crew where it just does not hold back. It goes violent, it goes very brutal very quickly, and then it just kind of whiplashes back into trying to be a funny scene or going straight back into the story. And you may not love that, but the movie does, in my opinion, do it pretty well where it keeps you entertained. There's also a car chase scene in here involving a helicopter that is just absolutely crazy. I mean, from the second the helicopter shows up, things are exploding, cars are flying, people are shooting guns at each other. The scene is incredibly violent in a way that doesn't necessarily gross you out. I mean, I'm sure if I were watching this with my wife who doesn't love action movies that much, I'm sure she would be a little grossed out. But like I said, this is a movie for people who love the genre and who really just want to see a new action movie starring people like Jason Momoa and Dave Bautista who have a lot of charm and can really bring the punch into this experience. So I don't think the movie hits like the quality of, say, The Night Comes for Us, which was a streaming movie on Netflix, and I believe is still there, and every single one of you should go watch it. But it does deserve some merit for what it was able to do. I really enjoyed The Wrecking Crew despite all of its narrative flaws. And out of 100, I would probably give it a 76. So I would probably round that up to be an 8 out of 10 experience, which is pretty good for something where it's coming out on Prime Video in January. You do not have high expectations for a movie like this, and so even at something that's an 8 out of 10 and not necessarily going to be in my top 10 movies of the year, you can still just have a good time with this. I definitely recommend watching it with more people than I did. I watched it alone, just while I had some free time in the middle of the day. I'd say if you know some people in your family or some of your friends that love a good action movie, get them together, watch it at night, maybe make some popcorn, and you will have a very fun time with The Wrecking Crew. So, is it a wish come true? Yeah, for fans of the genre, I think so. So let me know what you guys think of The Wrecking Crew. Go out, watch it, come back here and tell me what you think. Or tell me what other movies you think I should watch that are more in the realm of this. Because, like I said, it is my goal to watch every movie ever made. And if you have a suggestion for me and want me to check it out, then your wish might just be granted. Thank you guys. Have a good day.